Hello everyone, hopefully you can hear me. So, what I'm going to do now is I have watched the most recent video from Killer. The title is Street Fighter 2 30th Anniversary Legacy Cartridge Unboxing, Review Tech USA, clickbait style. And the video covers a number of topics. When I originally watched the video, I only got part of the way through, and the video seemed to be going, unfortunately, in a bit of a negative direction, where Killer is basically going over his kind of bitter ground, basically. Why can other people say what they want to say and I can't say what I want to say? And he does cover that, but he does other things as well. In fact, there is quite an interesting story that he tells towards the end of the video, which has got to do with Street Fighter 2. And so the video is uneven, let's put it that way. Now, but given that the video is uneven, that makes it quite an interesting video to do a reaction to, because there's lots of different ground to be covered. So that's what I want to do. There was some thought on my end about doing a scripted video, but that has gone out of the window because a video of this length, especially all the different things that he covers, that would be a considerable amount of work, and to be honest with you, the video then wouldn't get done. So I'm recording the video, I'm analysing the video. My intention is not to rip off the video. If I can skip parts of the video, I will. But we'll probably be doing the whole video, so we'll be using most of the video. Hopefully Killer is okay with that. I do have some other thoughts, and because the video is so long, there were quite a lot of thoughts that eventually came up. One of those thoughts has to do with... So what I'll do is I'll put my ideas out now. There is a part of the video where I get the impression, especially given the title of the video and the kind of what he's currently been doing in terms of niggling quietly at Review Tech USA, not necessarily using his name. In fact, in this video, that's how he starts. He says a YouTuber, a certain YouTuber. And then he uses Review Tech USA later. But what I get the impression that he's trying to do is that he's trying to get his attention. So whether or not that is the case, that he is going over old ground, where basically he's basically saying, look, there's this cartridge that was put out, this a one-off 5,000 run cartridge of Street Fighter 2. If you're going to plug it in an old SNES, it might catch fire. SNES is what we call them in the UK, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES in America, I suppose. Now, basically, there is no... I mean, it's an extremely minor... There's a very low chance, basically, that the old console is going to burst into flames. But because Nintendo have to cover themselves, they put that down. Because it's... How old would the console be? 20-something years old? Is that right? 25 years old? And he calls him out. He basically says, look, Rich, the reason why you're doing this... He doesn't put it quite this way, I'm paraphrasing. The reason why you're doing this is just to get clickbait. You know that it's not going to burst into flames. I know it's not going to burst into flames. Nintendo knows it's probably not going to burst into flames. But for legal reasons, we need to make sure that we cover ourselves. And he does the same thing in this video quite cleverly, I think, that he did with the original Power Chord video, which kind of got him the attention of this considerably bigger YouTuber. Now, because of the person that Rich is, I'm pretty sure that Rich watches these videos. Even though this is now a channel with 1,900 subscribers, it's the problem of being a human being that you will seek out things that allow you to have a kind of cathartic response. If somebody is saying or being critical about you, you will go and watch it, because then that gives you the opportunity to react and to get these negative emotions off your chest. And then you will feel good about yourself. And that is what I think is happening. So without further ado, let's start the video and we will see where we get with it. So just to warn you, the video is quite long. It's 27 minutes. I'll skip parts where I can, but otherwise we're going to have to do the whole video.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm still sick, but I have a box I want to unbox for y'all. So, let's get started. Here's a clue right here. But wait a minute. Doesn't the title give it away? I think it does. Maybe I could title it differently. Or maybe I could do some clickbait and I can title it Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo is being re-released and it could catch fire.
Now, when I originally started watching this video, I thought what you've probably thought now is that this is going to be an unboxing video, and hopefully it will be a positive unboxing video like what he used to do, with the kind of turbo engine and the Sega Genesis and the Sega CD and stuff like that, where he's kind of funny and just unboxing stuff and it's cool to watch. That kind of happens, but you have to wait until the end of the video to actually see the game, and we have to sit through 20 minutes of bitterness / calculating words.
It could catch fire, people! Fire! So let me tell you how this works for a lot of clickbait regurgitating YouTubers. Okay, this is what they do.
This is what they do. We're not yet referring to Rich.
Find some little tiny thing to read to you. Then they regurgitate it to you, make a big deal out of it, and then add some bullshit personal life, you know.
Just for context, or comment. He's never done this before. He's put up loads of videos where he's basically said, look, this person is regurgitating. But he's never gone to the extent of having to sit there and explain it to you. You know, spoon feed you what he thinks is happening. But for some reason, he makes the effort in this video.
Hey, Street Fighter was fantastic when I was a kid. So I can do that. I'll tell you some Street Fighter stories. But I just want you to see how this formula works, okay? So let's start. Right here.
Quarter-century old. Hell, my first experience with the Street Fighter series was actually Street Fighter 2.
So there you go. They give you a Street Fighter experience story. You know, you feel good. Hey, this YouTuber is telling me about his, you know, interaction with Street Fighter, and I had interaction with Street Fighter, so we're cool, and he likes video games, and I like video games. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. But then we get into the overblown part, and multiple YouTubers have done this, not just this one YouTuber. And they take this small little...
Once again, not yet referring to Rich.
...warning in regards to this video game I'm fixing to unbox, and then they just blow it out of proportion. And they blow it out of proportion by rereading it on a mass level. So you have multiple YouTubers just rereading this, okay? And it's just something that, how do I put this? It's enclosed. Is that the right word? I'm still sick, guys. It's printed down. It's a warning to kind of, what's the word? Cover their own ass of the people that brought out this game, okay? And so you have just tons of YouTubers jumping on the ball because let's say one YouTuber read this first, found out this information, and so now all the other video game regurgitating YouTubers read this information and have to read it. So it's just this huge Street Fighter's gonna catch fire bullshit, and that was like 3 months ago. Nobody.
Do you know what this makes me think about? I don't think that this analysis of what he is saying so far is fair. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't think that what he is saying so far is fair, because it's not. I don't think that they're doing this on purpose for clickbait. It's like a group of teenagers in the school playground who get hold of something, and he's kind of like what he's saying, where there is a legal message on the box that says, by the way, be careful, don't put this out in direct sunlight or it might burst into flames or something like that. And nobody with any kind of adult brain would think twice about it. They'd probably just plug it in, and if it did blow up, they'd sue Nintendo, and then they wouldn't be able to do that because of the warning on the box. That's kind of classically the way that things went down. Now, fast forward 20 odd years past when I was at school, well, maybe less than 20 years, you've now got a group of kids on YouTube with a channel, and they can say whatever they want, and people can go on and watch it because it's all public access stuff. So what is the point that you're trying to make? Are you basically saying, look, this person is making drama for the benefit of making money? I don't deny that at all. That's his entire way of making money on YouTube, is to kind of create these clickbaity news videos. I wouldn't for 1 second say that he shouldn't be allowed to do that. But it is akin to the example that I've just said. If you go back to the late 90s or the early kind of 2000s, and it's a group of kids in the school playground who are making drama and excitement out of something very silly, it's the same thing, except that you've given the group of school children an audience of millions of people. So I don't think there's necessarily anything innately wrong with what he's doing.
Whatever thinks about it again, they've stirred up the community.
In fact, your reaction to it, Killer, is quite childish.
It's been great clickbait, and then they get to make, a thumbnail with some guy's head on fire, and then the title
Look how childish and overdramatic it is.
literally called Street Fighter 2 for the Super NES is being re-released, and it could catch fire. That's clearly clickbait, because you're like, what? It could catch fire? That's craziness.
I mean, really, I think what I've done is fair enough. I've basically said, look, you and Rich... I mean, Rich I don't blame quite so much because he's running a business. But you, I mean, come on. You know what he's doing. It's like kids in the playground.
Let me click on that. And then you listen to the person regurgitate you, 6, 7, 10 minutes worth of bullshit just to get to one little part. Now, see, when you go buy this product, it says, warning, use of this reproduction game cartridge, game hardware may cause Super NES console overheat, catch fire. The Super NES hardware is deemed a vintage collectible, so please exercise extreme caution, blah, 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 limited warranty, blah, 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 blah. And it's just kind of cover your ass thing that they wrote down because, Super Nintendo is an old console. So it really doesn't need to be made into that big a deal. This is something for the purchaser to read and go, oh, okay, I'm going to buy this. Have I used my console lately? I have. Okay, this should be fine. But then you have the YouTubers that have to read it, turn it into, like, video game drama, right? So let's just hear a little bit of that.
Warranty, express, or
So now we know explicitly that it is Review Tech USA because he is playing the recording. But up until this point, he didn't say anything.
Applied of any kind, including any warranty.
Well, he still hasn't said anything.
Or merchantability of fitness for a particular use, or that the product is safe to use, and I am 8-Bit Incorporated or Capcom Company.
Now, of course, we don't want to listen to all that shit. So let's listen to a little bit more of this just to have fun.
Plug it in thinking nothing's wrong, and guess what? It may actually light on fire. The chances are slim to none that this will possibly happen, but I get why I am.
Okay, so he gets why they're writing this, but he's still not going to pass up the opportunity to regurgitate it, make a thumbnail of somebody's head on fire, and then have a title that says Street Fighter is going to catch on fire. Although he gets it, right? And if you listen there, what did he just say? He said it's slim to none that this isn't even going to happen, but once again, I'm not going to pass up on the opportunity to rile up the gaming community with a clickbait thumbnail and headline. And this is where people get mad at me and go, well, what do you care? And I shouldn't have an opinion on a bigger YouTuber.
No, nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that you shouldn't have an opinion on a bigger YouTuber. The question that is being asked is, what do you care, is a perfectly reasonable question. However, I don't think that this is a case where you shouldn't care. If it's a topic in which you're interested, then go ahead and make a video. But this kind of self-inflicted hate or where you think that other people are criticizing you, I mean, I don't think that that's the case, to be honest with you.
And this is where I say, bigger YouTubers that talk about PewDiePie, that throw Kevin Spacey under the bus, that throw Kathy Griffin under the bus.
We've now entered into criticism of Review Tech USA. Again, we haven't used his name yet. But these are all topics that Rich has covered. And there is criticism of Rich. Rich, it's a Review Tech channel. Why are you talking about Kevin Spacey, Kathy Griffin, etc.? I don't think that those arguments necessarily make any sense, because once you put yourself in front of the camera, or once you start talking over the camera, you're now to some extent selling your personality as well. I mean, there is a channel that I watch called Detroit Borg. He has 1 million subscribers, I think more than 1 million subscribers now. And that is a tech channel, and he does review tech or introduce tech. But I watch it for the voice. I watch it because the video is so well shot. In fact, sometimes I watch the videos and I have absolutely no interest in what the subject of the video is. They're just very cool videos to watch. And if you sat Detroit Borg down in front of a camera and he started talking about a topic of general interest, I would watch it, even if it had nothing to do with technology whatsoever.
And have plenty of opinions on other high-profiled stars or YouTubers, but somehow I can't have an opinion on someone. Why is that?
Okay, so we're getting to the kind of golden point, really, where he's going to start referencing the old channel being taken down. And I'm going to flag something up now. To my knowledge, you were not flagged by the people that you criticised, Review Tech USA. You were flagged by other people, and you were flagged in response to videos which are controversial, or covered a controversial subject, and people took offence to them. And whether or not that's right or wrong, that's not really for me to say. That's for YouTube to say. But the subject of your criticism didn't do that, as far as I'm aware.
Why can't I have an opinion on things on my YouTube channel? Apparently I couldn't. My channel got taken down.
So we've entered back now into the kind of bitterness. I mean, that's fine if that's the way he wants to be about things. It doesn't make for a very interesting video.
Because I had opinions. So once again, as long as I'm sick and I have a normal opinion like this, is that okay? So, and there's other people that seem to have the same issues, because I found out about a memory card issue, and I saw multiple YouTubers make...
This is now, he uses the wrong name in this video. He says ScanDisk, and what he means is SanDisk, and I don't know whether or not he's done that on purpose for some reason. And this is to do with Rich highlighting that there is a kind of artificial inflation in price for micro SD cards that are officially Nintendo licensed, considerably inflated in price, and Rich does a very good video about it. And to be honest with you, I mean, if the prices that are quoted are correct, and some people dispute them, because you have to remember the prices of things like SD cards do fluctuate quite a lot, especially where you're dealing with spending large amounts of money on large memory cards, anything over kind of 250 gigs, 128, 250 gigs. And I don't think that the video that Rich made was particularly unreasonable. I mean, again, it is clickbaity drama. I don't disagree with you, but anyway, let's carry on.
Making videos in regards to this, and one of the YouTubers was quite...
But what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that Rich made the video to be evil or to kind of like knock Nintendo down. He's just done it to kind of highlight that this might be an issue.
Big, and he mentioned this person in regards to his misinformation with memory cards. And then there's another YouTuber that had some memory card information. So I'd just like to share that with you before we open this up. And of course, any bad advertisement is good advertisement. That was my rule on my first channel. So basically, I'm giving this guy advertisement. But I just want you to see that other people see this and think exactly like I do.
The minority of people do. The minority who watch your channel think that. Although I watch your channel, but I don't think that. So I'm not in the minority.
Okay, I believe this guy to this audio you're going to hear is called RXL. Okay, so I just want to give him a shout out.
You know, people, guys like this make me absolutely fucking sick. So you got Review Tech USA.
So we're now using a video. Okay. So we're engaging in legitimate criticism, okay, and we're utilizing videos by other YouTubers where the person is not happy about something, but it's difficult if you're just because you have a negative opinion of somebody, that doesn't make it objective evidence that the subject of your criticism is wrong.
He made another clickbait video full of lies, and he knows they're lies. He's just hoping that you don't know the difference and get outraged and click on it so that he can pay his rent and raise another man's baby. Nintendo and SanDisk are taking advantage of their consumers. Now he goes on in his videos to say, you know, SanDisk and Nintendo have teamed up and they've got this 128 gigabyte memory card.
Now pay attention.
For $100.
This is important.
When you can buy the same memory card for like $45, $50. They're ripping you off by $50.
That is basically what he said. That's not a wrong rendition of what he said. I'm forgotten what the YouTuber's name was. Was it XLR or RLX or something like that? So yeah, sorry. Let's continue.
Problem is he's lying to you about the price.
Okay, now just so you know, this guy is kind of hard to understand. It seems like he has some spittle in his mouth or something, or chewing on something or drinking. I don't know. But so, Review Tech USA made a SanDisk.
Okay. Now I could be wrong, because I have been trying to pay attention to the video, but I think this is the first point in this 27-minute video that we've now broken ground, and we've named the person specifically. Review Tech USA
video. And he shows you the
although you have put that in the title,
price of a SanDisk
as an afterthought,
on Amazon for the Nintendo Switch. But he conveniently shows you the name brand SanDisk for the Nintendo Switch.
Now notice at this point as well, regurgitating the news, none of that stuff has come up yet. In fact, basically what he's doing now, I feel like this is the kind of... I think in a sense the power chord video was more of a satire than this. This is something else. I think this is a bit more calculating. But this is now a style that Killer has adopted in order to get the attention of this person.
On SanDisk's website instead of Amazon like the other memory card. And that video has been made private, has been conveniently taken down. It went away. Another big YouTuber made a video, bigger than me, and bigger than this guy, made a video on this. I don't know if that's what led to that, but people caught on. Maybe they tweeted, but...
Prices. Now, he priced that Samsung card that he showed you. He priced it on Amazon, but you notice what he did here? He priced this straight from the SanDisk website and not from Amazon. You know, that Samsung card is going to cost a lot more on their website too, but he doesn't show you that. So if you're going to price that Samsung card on Amazon, why don't you price the SanDisk on Amazon? And look what price it is on Amazon. It's actually $75, not $100. This is the official licensed Prime, free shipping and all that.
So it's still considerably more expensive, though. It's still, what's that, 50% more expensive? Yes. So you're basically paying $25 more for an officially licensed product than you would for any other product of the same capacity. And I think the one that they used was Samsung, was it? Or SanDisk. Just because it says Nintendo on it. And Nintendo tells you, I think it's in the instruction manual or on the website, what are the compatible cards, and basically you can use anything. So why on earth you would need, and this was Rich's point basically, why on earth would you need to buy an officially Nintendo licensed card? And the argument that Rich gives for why they're doing this is because they're going to get people, I think the example he uses is parents or soccer mums or something like that, who go to Walmart or Best Buy or wherever in America, and they go, and the clerk who they're speaking to, you know, the shop assistant, basically says, oh, madam, if you're going to buy this product, you should get the officially licensed memory card because that's going to work the best. And then she goes, oh, yes, absolutely. And unknowingly, she's paid more money than she otherwise would. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that argument at all. I mean, at that point, Rich's video is no longer clickbait. I mean, he's actually informing the general public. So this entire section is completely irrelevant in terms of your criticism of Review Tech USA, because I think that he is actually arguing in favour of something that he needs to tell people. I'm unclear what it is that you're trying to achieve.
It's not $100, it's $75. And then he lied to you. And then he said it was out of stock. Look, you can get it tomorrow. He lied to you. He flat out lied to you about the prices. He knows what he's doing. There's a reason he didn't price them on. He only priced the one that he wanted to be cheaper on Amazon. It's pathetic. What? He inflated the price difference by double. What a... Oh my God, he pisses me off, just the misinformation that he spreads to you just to pay his rent. Well,
See, that guy's clearly annoyed because it's misinformation that's
No, it isn't.
been given out to video gamers. And it's
Prices fluctuate.
why people have an issue with Review Tech USA. So we jump on some immediate Street Fighter might catch on fire nonsense that's written about this small underneath purchasing this collectible item of a game. And then you have the whole ScanDisc video where he shows you a Nintendo Switch ScanDisc on Amazon, shows you the price point of a generic ScanDisc of a not licensed Nintendo Switch ScanDisc, then shows you the official licensed Nintendo Switch ScanDisc on ScanDisc's website. Well, of course it's going to be more. Why didn't he use Amazon there? Exactly what this guy said. He just decided he was going to make some bullshit video for his subscribers or for any idiot that stops by his channel. But don't forget about Patreon. Cha-ching! Seriously, guys. He's got to...
This is also an ongoing thing that I don't understand why... I don't understand this criticism. So he's got this cardboard sign. For just $12 on Patreon, you can feed a regurgitating YouTuber, and it's quite an aggressive... I mean, I don't feel that this is satire now. I feel that this is just quite aggressive criticism, and it's almost like... I mean, obviously, we all associate cardboard signs with people who are begging, and I'm unclear whether or not the majority of people would agree with you, first of all, that if you have a Patreon, you're now begging. I mean, he's invested quite heavily in his channel. You know, Rich has invested quite heavily in his channel. He's spent thousands of dollars. He did a kind of look at his office and the equipment that he uses and the working space and the cameras. I mean, I think he's got a GH5, and he's told you that it's cost $3,000 at least. He's got his lights, tables, monitors, etc. I mean, if he wasn't able to survive financially by doing that, he would then have to go out and get a proper job. I agree with you. But just because somebody succeeds financially from doing something, I mean, unless you're saying that there's something morally wrong with what he's doing, and I don't feel that argument would be reasonable given that the entire system seems to be geared in that direction. I don't feel that this is reasonable, and it just feels very aggressive, Killer. I don't know if it helps you to make your point.
Misinform you. Don't forget about his Patreon. It's hard work to misinform people. No less to rile people up over video games that might catch fire, that really, after he reads you all that, tells you it's probably a very small percentage. But I'm still going to make a video about it anyway.
Mom, he still hasn't opened up the Street Fighter yet, Mom.
See, this is funny. I quite like the Geek in the Basement skit.
Okay, screw the beanie. I'm sick. Alright, but we've got some more audio for you.
But it frustrates the shit out of me, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it when they screw up, that they just don't seem to learn. They don't get...
He's talking
they don't
about
learn from their
Nintendo now.
mistakes. They're chasing the ghost. I know that's my term for today, but they're chasing the ghost of the Wii. And the Wii was a fluke. You came out with the Wii at a time where the casual gamers, the casual consumer, they didn't have smartphones, they didn't have tablets yet. It was a different time. And that's never going to come back. That's never going to come back, Nintendo. I wish you would have listened to people like me and Yarrick and a billion other people out there.
This really sets him off now because he's heard the name Yarrick. And it's just like listening to one of your kind of demented relatives, because he just kind of like keeps going off on this guy just because he's heard the name and it's kind of set him off. So we're going to now have several minutes of him just kind of chattering away because he's heard the word Yarrick.
That said, just make a conventional... That's never going to come back, Nintendo. I wish you would have listened to people like me and Yarrick and a...
Yarrick? So he wishes Nintendo would...
The demented laughter isn't funny, by the way.
...have listened to him and Yarrick. Yarrick, the guy that goes to Best Buy, Rich, and does reviews on BestBuy.com for 2K Digital Intermediates, he hasn't fucking watched? That guy? That's the guy Nintendo should listen to about making video game consoles?
Okay, I tell you what, this video's half an hour long already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it there and we'll call this part 1. And I'll put the video up now. And there's going to be 2 more parts to it. So I think it just makes it easier to kind of manage the situation as well if you're a viewer. So we'll stop it there and I'll continue the video in part 2. Thank you very much for your kind attention.